Thanks for clicking on my blog. My name is Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and senior wine and spirit specialist at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits in Sunrise, Florida. Followers, they're calling me. They've been calling me. The sales of Australian wine we talked about last week are going crazy. People are coming in and trying those wines from Australia, a country, one of three that I talked about in part one, last blog or vlog entry. Greece, Australia, and South Africa have a predetermination in people's minds of wines that are just not of quality, and they're wrong, and they're finding out now when they tried Australian wines, the ones that I recommended, like your wine specialist at ABC can, they're actually really darn good values and really delicious wines. Well, they've been requesting. I got 2 text messages, 3 calls. When's part 2 coming on? Okay, I can only do 1 video a week. I also have a job, but South Africa is a country. The exact question that was asked for me by one of my loyal blog followers: have you ever tasted a South African wine that was good, that blew you away? Because they all smell like rubber. They taste like Band-Aids, elastic. They can, but you know what? I've tasted some Chilean wines that all of the wine specialists agreed smelled like a fajita. Onions, peppers, cumin, spices, just wanted a steak in it. Does that mean I stopped drinking Chilean wine? No. And the one grape, and by the way, South Africa, our section, the width of this sign is the width of our South African wine section, which is dwindling even more so because of the lack of interest in the American palate, but yet in European palates they love South African wine. And again, this would be about 3-4 feet longer than most average retailers, even big box retailers that you may know of, our competitors, have, and they don't have many South African wines. Since the beginning or the end of apartheid, they've been taking notes from France, America, Argentina, South America. They're making wines in a very new world, but also with old world technique style. And the biggest offender is this grape here, this hybrid grape, Pinotage. Pinotage. It gets a reputation for being rubbery, gaseous. There's jokes on the internet, on Instagram, how smelly the Pinotage is, but that would be the wrong Pinotage. I agree, some of them are bad. This one is the Painted Wolf, the Den. It's from the coastal region. Most of the regions in South Africa are coastal, that are really coastal maritime climate, and this one does not anywhere near, for $11.99, smell any kind of rubbery, no Band-Aid, no gaseous smell. $11.99, you get fresh mulberry, light fruit, like a cross taste between what you consider a Pinot Noir and maybe a Merlot. There's beautiful fruit, a soft finish, and just an easy drinking wine for $11.99. What is Pinotage? Pinotage is not a blend, it's a hybrid grape. They crossbred the grape Pinot Noir with the French grape Cinsault, Cinsault, to form the grape Pinotage. One of the best I've ever had, and that they still sell at the restaurant I used to work at, I put on the list, is Canoncope from Stellenbosch, and it's probably one of the finest Pinotage. It's not inexpensive. On the wine list it was $90, and it was probably literally one of the best Pinotages anybody ever had. If people were asking for Napa Valley Merlot, I recommended Pinotage for $90, and they were so pleased they would buy second and third bottle, and they didn't say nothing about rubber or Band-Aids. Give Pinotage the right Pinotage, like something like this, entry level, $11.99 would be great. Good producers like Graham Beck. Graham Beck is a great producer, coastal region I think this is from Stellenbosch actually, but a coastal region, Cabernet Sauvignon. Put this up against some of the best California or American Cabernet Sauvignons with a little bit of French style. They're learning. They use a little bit of European style of concrete vats, or Americans use concrete vats now a lot, but they're also using some used French oak barrel. This is a Cabernet, very dark, beautiful Cabernet in the $16 price range or so like that for Graham Beck Reserve. That's their reserve, the game reserve. Cabernet Sauvignon. This is always one of my favorite. It's not Pearl, it's pronounced Black Parle. This is 80% Shiraz and 20% Cabernet Sauvignon. I tasted this wine just recently. The fruit is beautiful. The alcohol is a little high, but you don't taste it. It's like around 15% alcohol. It's just very well extracted, loaded with flavor, kind of a mix between New World and Old World Syrah with a lot of layers, a little bit of spices, no elastic or Band-Aid or rubbery smell coming out of the Black Parle. Another great selection from Stephen Stars at Southern Stars in Huntington Beach, California. And a direct-to-you wine at ABC, $16.99 is the retail. The Badenhorst family, they do their second label, Cicaders, in a coastal region. I'm showing one of the most popular white grapes in the country of South Africa. It's a completely different style, Chenin Blanc. This is a Chenin Blanc, 100%, but it is known as Steen, S-T-E-E-N, Steen. And Steens are really what South Africa, in my opinion, does the best. This Chenin Blanc has got so many tropical flavors and peaches and apricots, and it just goes on with floral notes. And this is their Chenin Blanc. Also about $15, $16 a bottle, direct to you. Cicaders also, same family winery, does a Rhone blend for you Rhone rangers out there. You just don't have to go to Washington State or Paso Robles or even in the Rhone Valley itself. You can go to South Africa without getting that rubbery smell. This is mostly about 83% Shiraz and a blend of Grenache, 10%, and the remainder that favorite grape, Cinsault, that they crossbred to make Pinotage. Tasted this again recently. What a value for a Rhone Ranger to drink this wine, but most people will avoid the section. Please don't do that. It's a great value, great tasting wine. No rubber, no Band-Aid. Another exception to the rule. Graham Beck does a rosé. Yes, rosé all day, or as like I say, listen here, rosé all year. It's a Pinot Noir Chardonnay rosé, really inexpensive, and the name fits it. It's gorgeous. It's an easy drinking crisp rosé, $13.99, and that's about the price of what you would pay for a Provence rosé or for a rosé from Italy or from any other country, South African rosé. Pinot Noir Chardonnay blended. Wonderful. What about the world of sparkling? Remember, there is the Charmat method that I've talked about in other blogs where they just take the wine, ferment it right from the tank, put it in the bottle, doesn't go through a secondary fermentation. But the South Africans learned from the French, so they're doing it the exact method, that double fermentation. Some countries like Italy call it méthode classico. In America we call it méthode champenoise, in the method of champagne. And in South Africa they call it, I don't know if we can see this here, but it's méthode cap classique. Method cap classique. It's just another word for what South Africans call double fermentation for a couple of years. This is Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, like a 55-45% blend, and it's white, but the one that's popular, they're both the same price, $16.99 direct to you. I think people buy this more than any other sparkling rosé. This is also Pinot Noir Chardonnay, using the skins of the Pinot Noir grape to get that rosé color. Just berries, creamy, fine bubbles, because it goes through a double fermentation in this bottle in the same exact way that they do champagne, but you're not going to buy champagne for $16.99. So it is exactly the same method, exactly the same two grapes that make up 99% of the rosés in Champagne, France. Pinot Noir Chardonnay, $16.99, Graham Beck from Robertson, Africa, South Africa, and a great producer. As you can see how many wine we carry from Graham Beck. I wish we had others, and maybe that will happen one day at ABC if the category starts to pick up again and people don't have that premonition, or they say, just that set mindset, that's the word I'm looking for, that South African wine all smells like Band-Aid. So to review, if we go down here, we've got Pinotage, a Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, a Shiraz Cabernet blend, the Steen, which I want you to try, Chenin Blanc, a Steen, you gotta have that, a beautiful Rhone Ranger blend, That's direct to you from the Cicadas winery, and that is again mostly Shiraz with a little bit of Grenache and Cinsault. A wonderful red blend. You want rosé? Listen here, rosé all year. Remember, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, rosé, and please, if you're looking for a sparkling budget, try one of these two. Sparkling wine made in the method of Champagne, method cap classique, not classique, cap classique. So you could become one of my followers again by putting down your email address on the first menu page of my blog, and just put that in, follow that blog, and you can have access to me all the time. You want more information on some of these great South African wine, while hopefully we still have some and even grow the category more, go to www.abcfws.com and you can look up information there. So we've hopefully got rid of that mindset of Australia. The customers coming in last week, my guests and blog followers, have been definitely giving it a thumbs up to the Australian section, and I hope the same thing will happen once you go and realize and get that mindset of the rubber band-aid thing out of your mind with South Africa. So we've got two countries that I hope will start picking up in the category. You should try them, because remember, wine is not for snobs. It's for everyday people like you and me. Happy Halloween.